You're listening to the Becoming More Me podcast with me, Theresa Lear Levine. You're already enough, but if you're anything like me, you thrive when you're stretching, creating, and aligning with the person you feel called to be, and creating greater calm, clarity, and confidence in your life, as well as room for pleasure and expansion. Through amazing stories, conversations, and offerings, this podcast is here to inspire and support you. Get ready to release the negative, reinforce the positive, and elevate our consciousness and vibe together as we tap into our limitless potential to transform and grow. Hey. Welcome to another episode of Becoming More Me. Sitting here at my desk this morning, just, did another podcast interview that'll be coming out right before or after this one. You'll know because I'm wearing the same shirt. And feeling so full of things that need to be expressed that I need to create an episode instead of doing anything on my to-do list right now. So here I am. You know how that works. I show up for these solo episodes when it hits me, and it's hitting me hard today. Let's just start with a deep breath, everybody. Sometimes we forget to take them, right? Oh, I love like a good physiological sigh too. Just a nice deep inhale in. Take another sip of air in, and then exhale it all out. To me, that's like the perfect way to know, okay, the threat that probably wasn't a threat anyway is over. It's safe to just be in my body, do my thing, get on with my day. And that's exactly what I want to do here with you on this episode. So I'm in the editing stages of my book right now. There's scheduled to be 2 rounds of edits. We'll see if we need a third one or not. Everything is a little bit fluid right now, and I'm okay with that. But, there's other people involved here. So just trying to make everything come together smoothly and honor my own process, which I've said before is doing this in a way that's pleasurable. I had a couple of days when I was in the writing process that I was like, the writing cramps are really bad. My body doesn't feel good. My neck is out of whack. And I was like, this isn't where it's at. Like, this is not how this process is supposed to be. And I had to get realigned. So much of what I talk about in my book, what I help people with, and what I do in my own life is about just always checking back in with our level of awareness and consciousness so that we can take things to the next level, because we're never there in a way that we stay regulated, aligned, elevated, open, all of that kind of stuff. There's always potential for that kind of internal shutdown, for the crappy feelings to come back in, for just, all the things. We're never one and done when it comes to personal work. And that's probably a lot of my message, is just to understand and accept our humanness, and to realize too that like even confidence, which is like a core part of the work that I do, is an in progress thing. It's not like people get confident, stay confident. Usually confidence has a lot more to do with being able to accept failure, being able to make mistakes, being able to put yourself out there, and knowing that even if it does not go as you wanted it to, that you have the fortitude and ability to land on your feet and keep doing your thing. That to me is the essence of confidence, as something that is always a work in progress. So, like I'm saying right now, I'm in the editing part of the book process, still looking for a launch date of this fall. It's gotten pushed back, and honestly, 2 months from now, is it going to be out? I don't know. And I think once we actually get the book through formatting, which is the stage after editing, then the date's going to be a lot more solid and it's going to be a lot more real. But one of the things that's making it feel real to me this week is that I am drip feeding chapters of the book to my husband to read. And nobody's read it yet, except for people that are working with me on the book and, helping me through the writing process, editing, formatting, that kind of stuff. And I've read a little bit to the fellow authors that I'm working with too. But oh boy, does it feel vulnerable to hand it over to like my number one person who was also written about in the book on various occasions. And it's like, eek, like, I don't know. So, but it's exciting too. I am excited to receive his feedback and to just know that he knows what I've been working on so hard for the last however many months it's been since I got started. So that is making it feel more real. And all of the amazing people that have been rallying around me that want to be part of the book launch team, all of you who have like raised your hands, like, let me know when launch day is. I can't wait to get a copy. That means the world to me. So if that's you, definitely shoot me a message wherever we normally talk or wherever you like to hang, that I hang also, whether that is via email, Theresa@TheresaLearLevine.com, or on Instagram. My handle's at Theresa Lear Levine. On Facebook, same name, different place, or wherever. Just shoot me a message. And if all you have time to do is write book launch team, I'm going to know. And I need your email address so that I can make sure you stay in the know. But it's definitely, a goal of mine to get on the Amazon bestseller list. It's definitely a goal of mine to have ample reviews from people who have actually read the book. So, if you're somebody who wants to read an advanced copy and write me a review, gosh, I would appreciate that. Thank you in advance. And yeah, if you're somebody who wants to grab a copy on launch day, I would just be so, so honored to know that you're excited about this along with me. So the book's plugging along. And in other big news, I got my firstborn dropped off at college and set up in his dorm room less than a week ago. So that was huge. And we're lucky that he chose to go to a school that's in the state where we live, only about 45 minutes from our house, give or take, depending on traffic, as all things in the DC metro area do. Um, but yeah, it's cool. Labor Day weekend's this coming weekend, and he's actually going to come home for a night because he wants to and because he needs to gather some things that he forgot. It's the experience of taking a son to college versus a daughter, and I wouldn't know personally because I don't have a daughter, but I can only say that it has got to be night and day. So taking Jaden was like, he packed the day before. And despite weeks of being like, hey, do you want, new sheets? Do you want organizers? Do you want things to hang on your wall? What kind of things do you need? All that kind of stuff. There was little to no response from him. It was kind of, we shopped, I believe it was, I'm trying to think. We shopped the couple of days before he went, and it was still summertime, so that worked. None of my other kids had gone back to school. So we dropped him off on Friday. I think we shopped on Thursday. We shopped the day before we took him so that he could get sheets and towels and a few other things that he needed. And I had already made sure that he had a refrigerator and other things like that. But he had his like big screen TV that he wanted to take, and like 3 backpacks, a box, a refrigerator, and a couple of thrown together bags. So we pulled up our, we'd have like a big 12-person passenger van. And even that, like, they say like, don't run a U-Haul, don't have anything big. You don't need that much for a dorm room. And even our vehicle was not packed as much as we pack it to like go to the beach for the weekend. It was minimal. And, packed up, unloaded, car was unloaded in like under a minute. And my husband went to park it, and it was one trip up to the dorm rooms. Everything was there. And then it was like coercing him, like, "So, can I help you make your bed? Can I take the tags off your towels? Do you want me to, like, hang some clothes for you?" I just wanted to feel like a mom a little bit and feel like I was helping him get settled, because I think he would have been cool, like, I'll take care of it. You can go." We literally could have dropped him off in under a half an hour. And then meanwhile, I'm watching the girls that are moving in on the same floor bring their like hand truck after hand truck of IKEA furniture, matching rugs and lamps and wall decor and pillows and decorative things and plants and all the things. And I was just really grateful to have a son who is cool with figuring it out as he went along, because neither of us, we didn't have the time. He was away all summer working. He got home one day before we went and it was like whirlwind. So I was thankful that he wasn't looking for this perfect setup on the first day, but it was really just kind of funny to see the contrast, and then watching all my friends put up pictures moving their daughters and things into dorms, and these like perfectly decorated, looks like it's out of, a catalog dorm rooms. And like, you should see my sons. It's coming along though. I will say, in this first week of him being here, there, I have gotten calls like, "Oh, I could really use this or that." I'm making a list, that kind of thing. But I think that practically that's a really good way to do it, because he didn't go and have us get a whole bunch of things for him that he didn't need. He's figuring out what he wants. He didn't want to overcrowd the room, but he's also got what seems like a very neat and tidy and organized roommate. And he said to me the other day, he's like, "You should see what my roommate's half of the bedroom looks like versus mine." And I can only imagine, because I know what his bedroom here at the house looks like. And despite him agreeing that he would have it like all tidied up and cleaned out when he went to college, it is not. That's okay. We'll figure it out. So yeah, that was a big deal, getting him off to college and just hearing all these things his first week there. He's really just embracing the culture, um, the food, the classes, new friends, sports events, all sorts of things. So I love that for him. And got my other three kids off to school earlier this week. So back to school is always something that I need to hold space for. And that was part of my process with writing and everything else this summer, as far as working with clients. I've allowed my client load to get lighter over the summer so that I could hold space for the book writing, and also just to enjoy the summer with the kids, do the things, go to the places, have the space and time to help them with what they needed help with, to do the school supply shopping, to just get them all ready in a non-rushed, non-chaotic way. And I'm so glad I did, even though I had to remind myself many times that this was part of the process, that I was holding space for it, and that I didn't need to jump into all the things that feel like they have somehow backed up on me during book writing process. Because I got to say, there was a lot of things that I just had to like forget existed in order to get through this, and just really, really put the blinders on. And coming out of that, for instance, everybody's like, because now that my book's written and it's in editing, I keep hearing people say, "Oh, so you've got the hard part done. You can take a deep breath right now." Well, the day that I handed it over for the first round of edits was also the day that I like looked at my to-do list and everything I haven't been looking at for the last couple of months, and was like, holy shit. And that was as stressful as the days of trying to cram everything in to get the manuscript finished. So it wasn't really like the stress eased up, it just shifted to a new place. So that's where it kind of came in, and to be really important that I was just holding space to just be during this time, to just receive the book back when it came back from editing and have the time to do what needed to be done then, and to take care of my family. That I don't need to worry during that time about marketing and launching and, filling in the gaps and launching my hybrid program and all sorts of other things. Like, that just wasn't the time for that. So that's something that I've gotten really good at doing over the last few years. It's also something that I talk about the process of in my book, just being able to kind of shut those things off and just put the attention and energy where it's really going to benefit the most, knowing that worrying about all the other things, or getting stressed because they're not getting done does not ever serve the present moment and me showing up in my full power and potential where I'm needed most and where I want to be the most, you know? So it all ties into, making pleasure part of the process. So that's some of the things that have been going on, book writing, back to schooling, all of that. It's a lot, it really is. And it's just all happening at the same time. There's always layers, right? So now I'm just excited to get into what's to come and just really also pat myself on the back for everything that got accomplished this summer because it was massive. It really, really was. And the results of that have yet to come fully to fruition, but so much important work got done this summer. And I have so many clients right now that are coming towards the end of the time working with me in the Becoming More Me program. And that's always exciting too, getting to just reflect and look back and see that the goals and intentions that were set on day one have actually happened and come to fruition and manifested. And that, if nothing else, they are well on their way to making those things physical realities. So that's always really exciting to me. I know that one of my clients, Shelly, shared at her last appointment, which was not too long ago. And I actually shared a clip of it on social media the other day because it was so profound and poignant to the way that this work works that we were sitting there at her last appointment and it was bittersweet for both of us. I mean, I truly do become friends with the people that I work with. And when it's our last appointment and I know that we're not going to have this like every other week interaction with each other one-on-one, that I'm going to miss hearing what's going on in their lives and being part of the guidance and support that allows them to level up, to feel better, to have support and everything else. But so we were talking, and in this clip that I shared, she was saying how when she first started working with me, she just felt like, gosh, I just don't ever want this to end. And she was worried, like, how am I possibly going to get everything that I want out of this? How are we going to cover it all in what boils down to like a dozen meetings? And I tell you what, in the less than 6 months that we worked together, we did, I'd say, a lifetime worth of work, but some of our work actually was in other lifetimes. So more than a lifetime worth of deep work. I mean, she really showed up and laid it out there, got vulnerable, let me into all those dark places that were still pulling energy and power from her so that we could neutralize things, so that we could call her power back, so that she could achieve one of her biggest goals, which was when she started, she wanted to shift out of a career that she had made familiar, but was actually her playing small, into really showing up authentically as herself and fulfilling potential and creating income and abundance and opportunities for herself like never before. And that process had to involve breaking free from what had been familiar to her for so long, and this work that was preventing her from being able to step into that next chapter. And by the time we hit her last session, she only had a couple of customers left to say goodbye to, and she was there. Like, she had literally rearranged her entire schedule, paved the way for this openness that she needed to really step into her role as a life coach and an author, and to be able to do all of these things that she really wanted to do. And it was just such a beautiful testimony to how this works and how much can change. You know, at one point in it, she said, she was a little bit, worried, like I said before, about getting everything out of it. And then as she reflected back, she realized, I am different, like totally different from when she started doing the work. And also how much like the hypnotherapy aspect of things had really rewired and reprogrammed things for her, and how easy it was for her now to turn to tapping as a way to resolve things, just kind of on the spot, intuitive, and just kind of making her own breakthroughs so frequently and being able to come back to herself and regulate, elevate, and align. So, yeah, I'm experiencing a lot of those amazing, bittersweet final sessions with clients. But I'm super duper excited that my hybrid group program is enrolling quite literally now. If you're listening to this episode, it is now enrolling. And if this has been work that you're interested in doing, just really seeing how hypnotherapy, emotional freedom techniques, all of the ways that I combine that together with visualization and goal setting and working through past traumas to bring your power back to the present so that you can make all of it happen. If that jives with you, this is going to be a program you want to get in on. And I suggest booking a call to just chat with me about it. Like, no strings. Just go to gamechangingconversation.com, book a quickie little 15-minute call with me. It's a no strings deal where I'm literally just looking to provide you with insights and breakthrough type ideas that you can apply to your own life. And whether that means that you're interested in, chatting with me further at another time to see if the program's right, then great. And if not, whatever you're already doing is going to be enriched and enhanced by what you walk away from that call with. Promise. So it's just an opportunity to get to know yourself better and to see what I can kind of find might be root causes of things for you and ways to resolve them. So again, this is the time to get in on this program because it's just going to be infused with so much awesome energy as I get ready for the book launch. And I'm already kind of working through my wait list and stuff, but I know there's going to be at least a few opportunities for new people to join me in this. And this new iteration of the program is not only going to have one-to-one work, but also weekly um, weekly calls where we can work through whatever else is happening for you right then and there in a group setting. And I've mentioned this in other places before, maybe in this podcast, but knowing that transitioning to a hybrid group offering was part of my plan for this year, I have invested in a lot of groups and hybrids myself and really gotten a good understanding of what I feel like really works and what I do not want to replicate. And I'm excited to bring that into the Becoming More Me signature program container because I don't know about you, but like whenever I've been part of a first group for something, it's always been amazing. Like, obviously, whether this was my first time doing this group or not, I always have a high standard for wanting people to be satisfied. And whenever I have a new program launching, it's like just that extra level of like, let's just make this amazing. So it's always a good time to get in and a good time to be like a pioneer on the forefront of things and know that you're just really getting like the best of the best. I'm not burnout. I haven't been doing this for years and years. This is a new version of it. So fresh, full of great energy, and just really available for you through this program. So again, hit me up on gamechangingconversation.com if you have questions or want to chat about yourself and how this applies to you personally, because that's really what it's all about, right? It doesn't matter how these tools and techniques have helped me. It matters how we can transpose them to the challenges that you're dealing with and make your life better through the process of the Becoming More Me signature program. So that's something I'm also just super duper excited about and can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be so freaking exciting. And to have that along with the book launch, I just feel like so many things are coming full circle. And I'm just so honored and blessed to have so many people that are excited about this along with me. So if that's you also, thank you. I'm just feel like this is going to be a season of just gratitude and just so much thanks for support. I've been just floored by the people who have reached out and wanted to support. And so many of them like aren't even people who align perfectly with what I do or who would even ever potentially be a customer, but they understand what goes into something like this and they want to be supportive. And I can't say enough too. I know my I was talking to my friend Shannon the other day and who's a former client, and we were talking about the book launch and she was like, "Oh my gosh, when does it come out? How many copies can I buy? Blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she reminded me of the fact that like as women, if we can't support each other on like that basic level of like, "Hey, I'll totally buy your book when it comes out." Like that should be something that we should be able to ask for and receive from each other so very easily. So I really appreciated that she mentioned that because I had been kind of hesitating to, talk to people that I talk to regularly, not just like, out of the blue, but, people that I have relationships with and be like, hey, when the book comes out, will you be part of my launch team? Like, will you support me? And I'm always really happy to do that for other, small business owners and, women like myself that are just trying to do the most amazing things and are elevated and supported by people like me. So I guess I'm looking for those people too right now. And it felt so good to hear it from a friend and former client that like, hey, it's such a small ask. It's such a small ask. And it means so much. So yeah, that's what's going on over here. So I just wanted to give you guys an update, and I'll try to update you again as I go through or complete the formatting process. And I tell you what, things are going to start getting really exciting then, because then I really do feel like I'm going to have a solid launch date. And I would love to know if you want to be part of the book launch team, shoot me your email address so that I can make sure that you know all the things about what's coming out. I am also, this is exciting. I am also going to be doing these little mini workshops leading up to it. And that's going to happen in my community that's on School, SKOOL. You can join that with the link in my podcast show notes. Or if you go to my website, teresalearlevine.com, you can join it from there. But my Becoming More Me community on School is totally free. There's over $10,000 worth of resources over there that are geared towards getting change in your life and transformation, especially through emotional freedom techniques. I have huge resources over there for that. And I'm going to be doing trainings over there. So I'll be announcing them in other places on Mondays. And then on Thursdays, I'm going to be delivering them over there. Just short, easy things that you can consume at any time you like. You don't have to show up live or anything else. I know that can be difficult with people's schedules, but something that you can listen to or watch on your own time. And we're going to be going through different chapters of the book. I'm going to be doing little readings. I'm going to be making things applicable to you and then diving deeper into things that weren't covered weren't covered in the book, and sharing even more. So it's definitely going to make getting closer to the book launch more exciting, clue you in on some of what's included in there, give you some advanced readings, and also tie all that in to how it relates to you and your journey in an even more personal way. So if you are not already a member of my community over on School, please join me over there. It's been so nice to be able to have a place to bring people together that isn't necessarily Facebook. Love Facebook, but I have issues over there all the time. And I have a lot more control and ability to serve over on School. The only thing I say I don't like right now, and hopefully they'll change this at some point, is that I cannot send voice messages on their messaging system. And I am a voice message person. So I still find myself circling back to places like Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram because for me, it's just so much more personal and it's easier and it's faster to just shoot somebody a 30 to 60-second voice message that really gives them a sense of me more than me typing. Maybe that's just me. I love receiving voice messages too. So yeah, there's always going to be some things that are better about some platforms than others, but I like that at least I get to control a lot of what's going on the School platform and be able to serve people. I can, provide email updates about things on there. I have amazing content and free stuff that will roll out to you during your first few weeks as a member so that you're not overwhelmed by getting it all at once. And you can enjoy each resource as it comes to you. But if you are somebody like me that just wants to gobble up all the resources all at once, you can always just schedule one of those calls that I talked about before. And after the call, I will unlock everything for you. So tens of thousands of dollars of resources right at your fingertips for free, plus amazing stuff that I'm going to be doing in there, getting ready for the book launch. And, you'll get a sense of what's going on step by step in more real time than perhaps these more sporadic updates that I'm able to give you here on the podcast. So thanks for listening. Thank you for being interested. Thank you for being along with me, not just on this becoming more me book journey, but in this life in all the ways that we're always becoming and calling our power back. I love it. And I love being here with you. Have a fabulous day. Thanks for spending some of your precious time with me today. If you loved this episode, please leave a review or simply share it with someone else who would get great benefit from it too. If you share on social media, please tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, keep taking bold and brave steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. And if your inner critic is still trying to argue with those facts, hit me up. We've got work to do.